Dinking, smashing, third shot dropping, got pickleball fever, and it's not stopping. It's Pickle and Mickle. Pickle and Mickle. Pickle and Mickle, alright. And alright, it is Pickle with Mickle, a Saturday edition. Joining me on the court, Shawn Paul Pickleballer. Nuff said. He is in the running to become a contestant on the first ever pickleball reality show. I think I've teased enough. Here we go. Hey, Shawn.
Hey, what's up?
How are you, my friend? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're coming through crystal clear. I appreciate you joining me here today. How are things over in Ohio?
Good. It's a real nice day out there today. Yesterday was sucked. We actually were playing the courts were wet, but we were still playing. It wasn't like downpouring, and we were just still playing.
I hear you.
I told everybody, it's like I used to play with a guy who now I teach pickleball, but this guy that I played with, he was a teacher too. But he told me one of his teaching techniques was he would wet the courts on purpose. And I was like, well, why would you do that? And he's like, well, because it would teach my students, he was teaching the students how to pick up their feet to move. And I'm like, I get it.
Interesting.
Exactly. So now, whenever it's misting or the courts are wet, I tell everybody, I'm like, look, I'm not running for anything. And I tell them that story. I'm like, I just work on my position and my precision shots.
Right. You got to slow down. You got to pay attention to where you're going because you don't want to slip and fall on your ass.
Exactly. And a lot of people, especially when I hate saying it like this, especially when you're playing with like the lower level players, that's what they do.
You can say it like when you're playing with me.
Don't know that yet. I mean, who knows? I'll give you an assessment if I come out there. But
well, and that's what we're here to talk about. We're going to get into a lot of fun stuff. I'm joined here today with Shawn Paul Pickleballer, and Shawn has a unique opportunity. He is amongst the hopefuls waiting for the big reveal. The big reveal is Tuesday, August 29th. And this reveal, people are hitting up my Instagram right now, Shawn. I apologize for those little dings in the background, but it's other people who are also hopefuls for the Pickleball Paddle Battle that is taking place right here in Chandler, Arizona, where the weather is also great. It's not as hot. So if you do come out here, it's going to be nice. This thing is amazing. And so, Shawn, before we get into your amazing pickle story, some of your awesome adventures, let's dink it right through, maybe back up. We might have to drive a couple back and forth. Let's jump right into this pickleball paddle battle. Let's start with your story from the beginning to right now. How'd you get into this thing? I mean, how excited are you for the possibility to compete in the first ever pickleball reality show?
Jeez, man. I mean, it dropped. It was, wow, this is awesome. I mean, I love being on the show. I hate if I'm stumbling over my words.
You're okay.
But this opportunity is amazing. And the way it just came to me is I've been waiting for this forever. I mean, forever. I've been playing pickleball for 8 years. And I'm telling you, from the time that I picked up that paddle, I knew I was supposed to do something more than just play, just to be a pickleball player. And then all my years of promoting and playing and court to court, and this is it. This is it. This is what I've been working for. You know what I mean? This is it. This is the opportunity it's like one of those go hard or go home type things. You know what I mean? This is gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? This is gonna determine Shawn Paul Pickleball.
Well, I think Shawn Paul Pickleball has determined himself already, just being amongst the people who are in the running to be on this show. What was that like? What was some of the process? You had to submit videos of yourself consistently playing. Talk about some of that process.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. So they only asked, what's weird is okay, the submission process was, they only ask you 4 questions. They only ask you 4 questions. I mean, their questions were, and they wanted them in video form, so each question had to have its own video. You know what I mean? So it's not like somebody could ask me the questions and it'd be a continuous video. So they
Gotcha.
wanted 4 videos, answering each question. And they were, questions like, why do you think you should be a contestant? And all of them were good questions. It's like just stuff like you ask yourself every day, like, man, but you can't have a 10-minute video. And then the last two, hello, am I still on?
Oh yeah, you're here. No, I'm letting you go, man. You tell me what it's all about here.
So in the last 2 videos, they wanted highlight reels pretty much of you playing competitively, they say. So now that is the hilarious part on my end, because if I make it in here and this stuff starts airing, it's going to be friggin' hilarious, brother. You're going to, because what happens is I travel all around pickleball. I mean, state to state. And when I'm in Ohio, or I travel different court to court. I don't stick to one spot, and I don't just stick with the elite, like the high level players. To me, that's boring. I can't. I go everywhere and I play nicely. I play accordingly. That's my big thing. I
And
call it playing accordingly. I give.
we talked a little
Sorry,
bit
what is that?
about that yesterday, and how you love to play pickleball. You are a better than average player, of course, to even be considered for this show. But I mean, that's part of your awesome story. Is you go court to court, state to state to play pickleball, and if it might be a couple of pickle 3.499ers like myself, hey, you'll play with us, you'll help us a little bit, but you can get up and jam on the court too. I think I saw some of those videos.
That's exactly what it is. See, and I don't know who's listening from home today, but we had a guy that comes out on this.
Shawn, real
Yeah,
quick, they're always listening. Go ahead.
they're always. Well, I don't like seeing those people that go to the court. Like my home court doesn't really have a lot of competitive players there. I go there because it's close to home, and money's kind of tight. So I can't keep driving far to where you have all the, like in Menor, they have 15 courts. Of course, in Menor, you got the challenge courts, and you got the 4Os, and that's where they play. But I don't have a lot of gas, a lot of money, so I stick close to home most of the time, and I go to a place where I work on my shots. But then every now and then you'll get somebody about my level there who will just go there and just beat people up, and I'm sitting there and I will watch these games, and I'm like, what are you getting out of this? You know what I mean? What are you getting out of this? I mean, giving these people serves they can't hit. You know what I mean? And they're hitting
Sure.
everything 100 miles an hour, and it's like, come on, man.
Right.
You know. And it's not, to me, that's not fun. I'm a very, very competitive person. I am. You wouldn't see it from my videos, because a lot of videos you see me laughing and having a good time with there. But when I get on the court where I have to be competitive, I can. But you have to determine that. I have to assess that. If I get on the court with people I've never played with, it only takes me a minute or two to figure out who's who and how I have to play the game.
And
Not
how
only
you
do I
want
have
to
to
play
play
the game.
accordingly, exactly. Not only do I have to or want to have to play accordingly to my opponents, I have to play accordingly to my partner. Because if I'm playing 2 people who are just slightly better, and this happened a lot, slightly better than my partner, and they keep pounding my partner, if my partner can't move well and is trying to get every ball, I can't start jumping in front of this person, because somebody's gonna get hurt.
Right.
Somebody's gonna get hurt, and so it's just easier for me just to take the loss and
Sure.
let them have a good time, let them hit the ball. And if the people across from me feel like they're doing something, hey, you know what? Then that's the way it goes. I don't have
And,
anything to prove on these courts. Now, when I get out here to Arizona, of course, that is where it's like, all right, it's
yeah.
I got something to prove here. There's nowhere. Don't get me wrong. I want to have fun, and I'm definitely going to be still Shawn Paul Pickleball and talk to everybody the way I talk. But it's going to be a different persona when I get on the court, because something's on the line here. You know what
That's
I mean?
right. I mean,
Something is on the line. When I get
let's
on the
talk
court,
about let's talk about that real quick
yeah,
right now. I mean, should you make it? I mean, absolutely. Of course, you're going to compete. There's 15 other people that are going to competing over this 9-day event, and I don't want to. I mean, if there's some things you're not allowed to mention about the contest or anything, don't. But if you can talk about as much as you know about what it will be, because I know you're going to play pickleball. I know there's pickleball challenges. However, back to the prizes.
oh
2
yeah,
people get sponsored by Pickleball Kingdom to go out and play professional pickleball. And then folks, are going to receive their own Pickleball Kingdom franchises to run and operate in their local communities. And I'm available for the winner just in case you need some help with that. Good for you. Does she play pickleball?
No, she doesn't. And it would,
What?
you know what? It would make things so
That's a
much
Travis
easier.
Sham mockery. Why does she not play pickleball?
And she is fighting it whatever. She will not pick up a paddle. She will not. I'm like, come on. She will not pick up a paddle. She won't try. She'll go to my tournaments and she'll come watch me play.
Okay. She's
But
pickle supportive.
oh, let me tell you what, brother. She is very, very supportive. Most of because we talked about I had to quit my job to chase this thing.
Right.
I had to quit my job to chase this thing, and we were very, very financially secure. And in order for me to chase pickleball, we talked about it, and she was like, "Go ahead." So I quit. Now we're struggling. I don't know when I'm gonna put gas in my car most of the time, but she is struggling, and I'm sorry, she is supporting. And I almost gave up once. I almost gave up, like, you know what, forget this. And she is the one that was like, no, 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 you've come too far. You've come, and then this, I'm telling you, and see, and that's one of the karma thing, not karma, but fate things, because then this dropped in my lap. This, and I'm like, holy crap, this is it. I gotta do this, because if I would have quit when I was going to about 2 months ago, not quit pickleball, but quit chasing it like I'm chasing, then I would have had to go back to my regular job, and I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing right now.
And you wouldn't be in a position to possibly be one of these contestants on the first ever pickleball reality show.
Exactly, because my other job was pretty much, when they say jump, they got high. I mean, I've been on the courts before. They're like, we need you, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go. And now, don't get me wrong, the jobs that I have now, I don't make anywhere near as much money as I was, but I have the freedom to move around. I guess with something, you got to give away something too. You know what I mean?
And you're pursuing that pickleball passion, and I think that's something to be said. You've got a supportive wife. You're making it happen. And as you said, you've been playing pickleball for 8 years. And let's go ahead and let's talk about the level of pickleball that Shawn Paul Pickleballer can play if you had to duper yourself, or I'd even let you Udiper yourself. Those are the two main ranking systems in pickleball for all those who don't know. There are two distinct ways you can rate yourself in pickleball: a duper and a Udiper. Where would you?
At a what?
Well, that's the Udiper.
Udiper.
The
I don't think I've ever heard that.
UTPR, the Universal Tennis Pickleball Rating or something. I don't know. There's two ratings. Most people are using Duper, but there's also another one.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, if I had to rate myself, I'd say force plus maybe. And don't forget, and see, that's another thing. I'm glad we brought this up. We talked about this last night. And I teach pickleball, and when I'm talking to my students, one of the things I tell them about is levels, the level. Because if you're playing, say for instance, like I said, when I'm out there playing with the lower level players, and you have somebody across from me that may be slightly better than my my partner, say I'm a 4-0. Right now, my 4-0 is dropped to maybe a 3-5. You know why? Because I'm never seeing the ball. Now, unless I'm always jumping in front of this person, you know what I mean? Taking their shots and pretty much almost
controlling the game.
putting them in danger. Exactly. Now, there's a different, when I'm playing with the upper level players, there's a different way of controlling it because you and your partner are on the same page. You know what I mean?
Right. You know when to go up. You know how to slide together at the kitchen line. You know who's moving back a little to cover. Oh, yeah. I get that. And that's, I think, just since you segued in there real quick, that's what makes pickleball so fun, even if you're just beginning, because you're trying to figure out some of those nuances. And a lot of us have at least at some point probably hit a tennis ball or played ping pong. And there's some of both of that in pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I keep telling, like, I've been teaching a lot of tennis players, racquetball players that come to the sport, and I tell her, right, you have it just like me. I'm an ex-tennis player. We have a better advantage over anybody just picking up the sport, just because we already know how to get the ball over the net. We know how to move. Just learning the strategies and dynamics are hard. that takes a while, especially tennis. I'm a tennis player. So, of course, I never wanted to go to the baseline. Never. You know what I mean? Never. I mean, I always wanted to stand at that baseline and crank everything as hard as possible. And let me tell you what, it would work when I played, old people or beginners because they
Mm-hmm.
were afraid of the ball because I could hit the ball hard. They were afraid of the ball. Now, let me tell you, when I played real pickleballers, they would just stand at that net and block
Drop that thing
everything. And
right into
then,
the kitchen. Laugh at you.
exactly because and that's exactly what they would. They would. And
Yeah, I know.
I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people nobody wanted to play with because I would always get my partners hit. You know what I mean? I never wanted to come up the baseline. And if it did get popped back to me, I would pop it up. I mean, it was bad. I was that person that, like, when I walked out of the court, people were like, I'm Shawn's partner. Oh, never mind. Forget that. And they would walk
They're
off the
putting on
court.
they're putting on vests and helmets because you're just setting them up to get pelted.
Man, exactly, exactly. But then again, when I started playing the better players, everybody would just beat me up. You know what I mean? And people treated me badly. Bad. I mean, they did. That's why I do exactly what I do when I go out here. I can't do that. I mean, I was humiliated. You know, can't do that.
I
So
think one of the coolest.
I will take losses. I don't care. It doesn't, again, like I said, when I go out here, I have nothing to prove.
Sure.
I'd rather help these people. It's better that this old lady across the court from me gets a shot, so called past me, or what I mean. It for them to win than it does for me. It's better for them. You know what I mean?
I think that's great. And I mean, I see all the time playing recreationally, and I've been fortunate to go to a lot of tournaments and see some of the real pickle play. But even recreationally, you can see the difference between, beginners and folks that are up there cruising over that 4 level, and the game gets fun. I think it's fun at every level. It's fun to compete. And certainly, I mean, the name of the game at Pickleball Paddle Battle is going to be to compete and to
Yeah,
win. And I
absolutely.
told you I was getting blown up since we've been talking about you coming on the show, and I appreciate you coming on the show. I got to do one thing here:
Uh-huh.
not guilty pickleball. Hey, buddy, go for it. He's trying to
You know,
get in there too. And I
hey,
got to say, my man, Tanner Wallace, Maverick Pickleball, he's in there too, man. Maybe all 3 of you guys could be battling it out in this reality show, which is
is
going to be.
not guilty here? Is he on here?
Nope, I don't see him on here
Is not
yet.
guilty on here?
Not
Oh,
guilty.
okay.
Not on.
It's
You know him?
funny. No, no, I don't. But he started following me,
Right
and
on.
he actually left me a message. He left me a direct message, and I'm like, "Who is this dude?" And he was like,
That's awesome.
it was nice. He was just saying, "I hope we get it." I'm like, "I hope we do too." But I noticed a few other of the contestants started following me. I was telling my people on the pickleball court, like, "Man, the contestants are following me," and I'm like, "One guy even left me a message." I'm like,
Well, and
"But yeah,
that's what I think is so rad about this whole thing. And so, real quick, you messaged me, but let everyone know because I'm going to put this out when we're done. So it's going to get out in the podverse, just about any podcast app you can think of. I can get it to. Where do people go to vote and help maybe push Shawn Paul Pickleballer over the edge?
you go to you look up Pickleball Kingdom either on Facebook or Instagram, and you just leave your vote in the messages, and I mean in the comments. And because I'm glad you said that, because a lot of my people are like, man, I don't see your vote thing. I'm like, no, you just go to the comments and say, I'm voting for Shawn Paul Pickleball. I
There
mean,
you go, folks. Did you hear that? Let me repeat it because it bears repeating. Go to Pickleball Kingdom on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. Leave a vote in the message section
no
for Shawn Paul
comments in the
Pickleball.
comments.
Comments, not the messages. Comments. There we go. 3 times is the charm. For Shawn Paul Pickleballer, let's get him on TV. This thing's going to be on ABC TV, and they're filming it right here in my backyard in Chandler. It's pretty cool. Now, Shawn,
Yeah.
another cool thing, not your Ravens allegiance. We're going to get to that. Trust me. I'm setting you up for that. But this article, this article in Voyage Ohio magazine, talk to me about that. That's pretty cool.
Man, right? It's funny. One day, this magazine reaches out to me and asks me to do an article on me. I'm like, I thought it was a scam. I thought it was a scam. I'm like, I'm just a pickleball guy. Nobody wants to talk to me. Anyway, so I looked into the magazine, found out they were They're real. They're real. So the article. So they sent me all the questions they wanted me to answer. As I was telling you, trust me, if I didn't have to type thing, I would probably explain a little bit more of everything. But I got tired of typing. So after I did the interview, I looked deeper into the magazine, and let me tell you what, man, these guys did they interviewed some real people, like some very interesting. And I'm like, there's no way these guys are gonna put my pickleball story in here, and
Drop
they
some
did.
names. Who else had made the cut?
What do you mean?
Other people that the magazine interviewed. Some of those
Oh,
more
no,
famous people.
well, yeah, just people I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know these people. I'm just when I was looking at the interviews, I'm like, people, you had people that were, owned businesses and just people that
Gotcha.
looked like they were higher level than me.
Big people in the community.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. But I made sure my wife makes fun of me. Well, in the magazine, I called out the guy who taught me how to play pickleball. I named him like 3 times. His name Pat Einsnagel, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you named him by name." But when it came to her, it was like I didn't even put her name in it. She was just my loving, supportive wife.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
you didn't go full
oh,
government on your pickle queen who is supporting this venture to pickle stardom?
yeah, she was pissed about that. She still brings it up. Oh, I'm just a loving, supportive wife. What do you want me to do? Yeah. So, but this guy, it's funny. The guy, him and his wife, I'll tell you, they took me in that YMCA and I thought it was the stupidest game ever. Stupid. And they gave me that damn wooden paddle. By the end of the day, I knew. I'm like, this is what I want to do in my life. This is it. This is it.
Right
This
away.
is it. And then, yep. And then next day, I bought my own pickleball paddle off of Amazon for $35. $35. And do you know, before I left, I didn't know, I never heard of pickleball before. So, and I was away from home. So before I left that YMCA, I gave that paddle away to somebody because I never thought I was going to play it again. Well, when I found pickleball about a week later, I had to buy another paddle, the same one because I liked it. $35 pickleball classic. I won my first tournament with it 2 years later. And then Pro Light Paddles, they approached me and they've been making
Okay.
my paddles for me ever since.
Right. Oh, yeah. Because I've seen on the socials, you've got some pretty cool design paddles with your name, Shawn Paul, on there. And then
Oh
that's
yeah.
Pro Light, who's taking care of you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lady, Julie. She's the graphic designer. So when it's time for me to get a new paddle, she designs and sends me what I want. I'm like, and gives me a bunch of options. So I'm like, you know what? I like this one. And then they make it and put it to life for me, and then that's it.
That's
And
pretty cool.
they just made a new one for me because I'm from Maryland. Well, we're gonna talk about the Ravens,
We're going to get
but
there.
yeah, but I was supposed to play in a tournament in Maryland, but I was in a car accident. Don't worry, I'm okay, but my car is no good anymore, so I couldn't go. But they made this awesome paddle for me with the Maryland, my name with the Maryland flag in the background that I was going to use
Sweet.
there. Yeah, but it sucks. I didn't. I'm using it. I use it today actually, but I didn't get to use it in Maryland first. So
Well, there's a lot of good pickleball in Maryland, Northern Virginia, Ohio, Arizona, California, Florida, Texas. There is pickleball everywhere, people. And where you're going to see Shawn Paul Pickleballer, we hope, is on TV. It's the Pickleball Paddle Battle. This thing is cool. He is a hopeful. The big reveal is coming up on Tuesday, August 29th. Again, go to Pickleball Kingdom on the socials, Instagram and Facebook. Shawn, where do they vote?
they go to Pickleball Kingdom, Instagram, Facebook, and then you just put comments, and the comment section says, "I'm voting for Shawn Paul Pickleball."
Comment section, Shawn Paul Pickleball. You get him on TV. Now, great article in the Voyage Ohio magazine, and you travel around to play pickleball. You've been playing for about 8 years. And then you also mentioned, you're a coach, you're an instructor. Do you do that on an hourly basis? How does that work? Is that able to help you support you a little bit?
Well, a very, very little bit because the YMCA they pay me hourly.
Okay.
Which is there's not. I started the program. They didn't have a program there at
Well,
my
plug
local.
yourself and plug that YMCA. That's why you're here, buddy.
Okay, well, yeah, the West Park. Thanks, the West Park YMCA in Cleveland is where I teach beginners and introduction to pickleball. Now, when they approached me about doing that. They don't have pickleball there. Well, they do now. It's blowing up, and people have donated pickleball paddles. Because when I started there, they didn't have anything. They had like beat up net and wooden paddles. Well, my pickleball people from around the country sent in pickleball paddles, and now I have too many. Well, no, I guess you can't have too many, but I have a ton of paddles for the beginners to use, and they're starting to even buy their own new paddles, which is fine. But no, they can't give me enough hours to actually, to support myself. So therefore, I have to have two other jobs, to do that, and then, and I teach privately outside of the Y, hourly.
Okay.
But I only have,
Awesome.
a few, a few students, and that's going to come to an end once winter comes, because the courts won't be free anymore. And just pick and these tennis clubs charge an arm and a leg.
Well, I mean, that's another thing you're seeing as the pickle places start to pop up, so that where there is places with actual, other weather. Out here, we have 2 seasons. You get summer and not summer.
Yeah.
But in some places, it rains and snows, and you got to go indoor for sure to play pickleball. We're seeing pickleball kingdoms, pickle mall, pickleball backyards, all of these type of pickleball places, which are awesome, pop up. You're absolutely right, though. The drive of pickleball is, you want to go get an hour on a court, a 3-hour block for open play. Certainly, there's different levels of memberships you can get, but it is starting to increase in a fee structure. Now, right now, it's pretty good from what I see for just a drop-in perspective. Pickleball backyard right here in Gilbert, folks, it's only $11 if you can get in on the open play for 3 hours. But there's a lot of different ways that you can get out there and play. And of course, you can still play openly at most parks in most communities. And there's even more courts being constructed, which is so cool. The Maryland design on that paddle, you mentioned you got a lot of paddles. Now, let me tell you about a paddle maybe you don't know about. And that's the Havik series from Mavericks. I got a plug because I'm a Mavericks guy. It's a great paddle. It's a new company, and it's coming up strong.
I saw somebody playing with that.
Yeah, they're coming good. Let me tell you, if you go get one, you could use my promo code, Mickle. Give it a try. See if you like it. I don't want to take you away from what you do and the people who take care of you, but hey, it is a great paddle. Now, let's keep moving on. Okay. Enough of those shameless plugs.
All right.
Unless I can plug something else for you. That's why you're here.
No, yeah, that's fine. Well, no, one more thing. I've reached out to other people before. Now, ProLite, they're a family business, and again, they've been taking care of me for a couple of years, since 2018, and I don't have any like exclusive deal for them, but
all right,
they take care of me, and every time I do something there, they send me stuff to give away for my promos, my paddles and everything. I've reached out to people before. Like, man, I like this paddle. I'm not gonna even say their names, because you know what?
Sure.
They shot me down. And it's like, all right, I was like, I don't have an exclusive deal pro light, but if you could put my name on this paddle, blah blah blah, I'll take pictures with it, travel country. And one company was like, yeah, we'll give you 10%. I'm like, you know what I'm offering you? You know what I mean? I'm not even ask for free. I'm just like, hey, hook a brother up. I'm going to give you national exposure. Take a picture every. If you see my social media, you'll understand what I'm talking about. 10%, get out of my face. And I'm not gonna lie, I still use it. I like the paddle, but when it's time for picture time, ProLite. You know what I mean?
I hear you got to take care of the people that take care of you.
Exactly. So who knows? Maybe
that's why you go out there and get a Mavericks Havik series paddle. The Control series is dropping this week. I mean, when you see me swinging that thing, you're like, whoa, that guy might be pretty good. And then you watch the rest of the clip.
All right.
The form's there.
I think you hustled. You're going to get me out there and golden pickle me. You know what that is, right?
Not even, dude, I got pickled the other night. I had to talk about it on my show yesterday. I got stinking pickled at Thursday Night Pickle Lights, man. It was humiliating. I've never been pickled before.
Hey, well, at least you didn't get golden pickle.
It wasn't the golden pickle. I know what the golden pickle is. That's when it's 0-0 start and then it's over.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, getting pickle sucks, but golden pickle, that's real bad. So
yeah, when you're golden pickle, you might just take a break. I mean, all of a sudden your phone's ringing. You got to get home. The dog escaped. Something happened.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how I felt. And I actually had to go right after the pickling. And I had to, full disclosure, I'm like, I'm not leaving because I got my ass whipped. There's like, gotta go. I mean, we had played already 6 games, but sometimes that just happens.
Hey, my wife just sent me a text that she's listening. Hi, honey.
You better drop her name.
Oh, Lindsay
Don't make
Patterson, my lovely.
Lindsay, Shawn is over the moon for you and appreciates all your love and support in his pickle journey. Sometimes he trips over the words, but I think those are the ones that he wanted to say.
There you go. Absolutely. Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Now let's get a real upset and talk some football.
Oh man, come on. That's why you're geez, you just said the
I said the magic word, right? You're from Maryland. Crab cakes and football in Maryland. Come on. You had to spill it that you're a Ravens fan. I let you know my allegiance lie in the nation's capital, even though they play in Maryland and train in Virginia. The Washington team, the Commanders, the Redskins, the Red Commanders, as sometimes I call them, ended that Ravens preseason winning streak. We just set you guys back probably like a decade heading into the season, and the season hasn't even started.
It's all right though. It's okay. I mean, all good things come to an end, and it don't mean nothing. The game didn't mean nothing. Just made you guys happy. You're all right.
How do you feel though? I mean, Ravens outlook this year. You're bringing in Odell Beckham. Lamar got paid. Lamar is ready to rock. What do you think? What do you feel?
Well, as long as Lamar can stay out of, last year he was in and out of, games because of supposedly COVID issues, and most of the key games we lost, he was out. So I guess we'll see if Beckham can. I know he kind of messed up out here in Ohio. They got rid of him, so I guess we'll see if he's more of a team player over there.
You think? Do you think he can be a team player? I didn't see it in New York.
I mean,
I didn't see it in Cleveland. Maybe Baltimore's different. Maybe him and Lamar just got something we haven't seen yet.
Hey, exactly. Maybe Lamar's pulling him aside, talking to him. Come on, brother. You got to be a team player, brother.
And here I am on the other side of the coin, just hoping for a sniff at the playoffs. You guys are going to playoffs every year. We have just been the model franchise of a ball, but things are turning around. There's magic in the air in DC. You know what that is because we got Magic Johnson on our side. Things are going to turn around.
Hey, well, at least you're a true fan. I hate those fans that are with them when they're winning and then think they're suck when they're losing.
Bro, when we're done, I will Instagram me in my Theismann jersey. That's how much of a fan I am.
Hey, well, my best friend in Baltimore, he's got the damn Redskins logo tattooed on his leg.
That's a good man.
Let me tell you, I'm a hardcore Ravens fan. I ain't never getting a Ravens tattoo unless they pay me. If they pay me,
you want to know how my mom got us to RFK Stadium back in the day?
How?
Just followed the car with the Redskins bumper sticker, and we made it. Classic. Shawn, this has been great. What else is happening in the world of Shawn Paul Pickleballer other than, Tuesday, it's coming, man. Do you know how you get notified? Email, phone calls? Is it like sitting around waiting for the phone to ring?
I don't know. But from what I'm getting from from that last post they put on Instagram, that picture saying, I'm thinking it's going to be a live thing. I think they're going to do it like, it's going to be a feed. Like everybody's going to be sitting around watching their phones, like on Instagram or whatever. And maybe they're going to call out names.
Okay.
Or type in the name. I don't know. But I just know I'm going to be on my phone. I got to be at work at 4:30. So they're calling it out 4 o'clock. So I'm going to be in a park lot at my job, 4 o'clock. I think I'm going to get some of my other people to come, with me. But we're all going to be standing around my phone.
You got to have like a listening party. Everybody who's involved in this thing, I'm sure, is gonna have a listening party to see if they're revealed. They've got some bachelor who's going to be the host of this whole thing. Does he? Who knows if he can even play pickleball?
I never even thought about it. I don't think. Well, I'm not going to say he can't, but
I'm not going to say he can't. The next thing you know, you got to play him in the final to win, and he's like some secret pro.
Exactly. Well, they're awarding a man and a woman.
Right.
So whoever, I'm pretty sure, I guess it's going to be a mixed doubles thing. So whoever, if I get out there, I guess me and a woman are going to get paired up, or we pair each other up. I don't know how they're going to do that, My wife was
Well,
reading some of the comments last night about on the votes, and apparently somebody is thinking me and some other lady that I don't know would make a good pair couple. I haven't
they're,
really read
they're
any
already
of them.
pairing you up, huh?
Yeah, they're already pairing us up. So
Uh-oh.
actually, I'm gonna have to go in there and see who she's talking about. Check out her Facebook page. Trust me.
We go from Pickleball Paddle Battle to Shawn Paul Pickleballer on the beach. I mean, uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta look into somewhere. And I've checked out these pages. I'm sure they've checked out mine too. You know, I used to be a fighter in the '90s, and then we used to have to watch videos on the fighters we were going to fight, and so it's going to be I did the
And
same thing
wait,
with
whoa.
pickleballers.
Pump the brakes. You just opened a little door. We're gonna. What kind of fighting did you used to do? MMA, boxer? What kind of fighter?
No, kickbox.
Kickboxer. Dude, you're kind
Oh
of
yeah,
a big guy.
yeah. That was before. You know what? When I was in my prime of fighting, that's when the MMA was actually coming
Okay.
in. And a lot of people were like, "You should do that." I'm like, "Hell no, I didn't want to get in the ring with those people." That was at least when I was fighting. It was rules. When you get in there, especially back then, when
I
that thing was
respect the
starting,
hell out of boxers, fighters, kickboxers, all of that stuff. I don't find joy in getting pummeled.
uh, no, it didn't feel good. But I mean, you got paid. You know, you got paid. I liked it. I liked the sport. I liked the
Right.
sport. You know, what I mean,
Incredible sport. Incredible sport.
and over and back then, I was a little bit. You know, I wasn't the pickleball nice guy back then. I was a little bit more violent than I've grown to be. So I kind of
Well,
like the violence. Now I want to avoid fighting at all costs.
take some of that, some of that experience, some of that built-in passion, fire, because you're going to need it when you're here in a few weeks for the 9 days competing. Right? We're positive we're going to make it happen. Shawn Paul Pickleballer at Pickleball Kingdom competing in the Pickleball Paddle Battle. Be there with Not Guilty Pickleball or Tanner Wallace or any other people, but go to Pickleball Kingdom in the messages, comments, in the comments, and say, I'm voting for Shawn Paul Pickleballer. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. Find the Pickleball Kingdom page. Leave that vote. You can do it. Let's push him over the edge. Shawn, I think it might be smart for you to say one more nice thing to your wife.
I love you, babe. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the support. She keeps
Hey,
saying, "We got this. We got this." Thanks, babe.
Hey, well, we got this. Shawn, I really appreciate you joining me. We put this together quick. It was last minute. I social stalked you, said, hey, I love your story. Would you come on? And I tell you what, you crushed it. You're welcome to come back on anytime. Let's watch the journey and find out Tuesday if Shawn Paul Pickleballer is going to make the cut. It's Pickleball Paddle Battle. I believe it's ABC, the Bachelor guy. Don't even know his name because he's not important. Shawn Paul Pickleball is important and needs your votes. And by the end of the football year, he might be a Commanders fan. Maybe not, but he might be.
If my best friend Casey couldn't get me to be a Redskins fan, oh, you call them Commanders. I still
You
call
can
them
call them
Redskins.
Redskins. They're going to be the Redskins again soon.
I think it sucks, you guys. That even here in Ohio, I'm not a fan of anything with Ohio or Redskins. But I think it sucks y'all had to change the name. Like I keep telling everybody here in Cleveland, I think it sucks y'all had to change that name to the what are they called? The Guardians? Yeah, the Guardians.
The Guardians now. We got the Guardians and the Commanders. It's like out of G.I. Joe or something. But hey, I bet there's one thing we can agree on.
Exactly.
We don't like
who knows? Maybe one day the Raven bird may be extinct and they don't want to call us the Ravens anymore. I don't know.
I don't see that happening.
Let's hope not.
Hey, as I let you get off the court here, any last things that Shawn Paul Pickleballer would like to plug before he goes, or also heading into this competition, hopefully?
Yeah, I do. I actually want to, and Corey, have you ever heard of Core Pickleball?
Core Pickleball. I have now. Yeah. Go ahead.
They make awesome pickleballs. Those guys, along with ProLite, have been taking very good care of me for the past few years. Every time I do an event or I call them up. I call them up and everything. What do you need? What do you need? My last event, I called Core up. They were like, "How many balls you need? 100? I got you here." And they sent it to me. And I used the balls for my lessons and my lessons in the YMCA. So core pickleball and pro light in the pickleball world have definitely been taking care of me greatly. And if I could plug outside the pickleball world, my job, Texas Day Brazil in Crocker Park. Hi, people. They're going to be listening to this. Those guys have.
Big shout out to those folks.
Yep. Every day before we start off work, it used to be, TDB on 3. Now it's Pickleballers on 3, and they do that themselves. I'm a part of a group chat, and every time they start off something, they start off, okay, Pickleballers. And it's hilarious. So yeah, those guys, hi guys, thanks for supporting me. And they're all voting. They've been voting.
That is awesome.
And then my last one, Golden Corral in Brook Park. Those guys out there, Tierra and everybody, and Matt, they're going to be listening to this. I just want to let them know they've been supporting me too. So, and of course, my West Park YMCA.
West Park YMCA, all of the other great folks that are out there supporting Shawn Paul Pickleballer in his quest to be the first Pickleball Paddle Battler. Say that 5 times quick. Pickleball Paddle Battle. I mean, we got something there. They got something there. They knew people can't say it real quick. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate your time because I know you don't have a lot of it to make because you got a lot of things that are going on, and hopefully coming out to Arizona. When's the show start? September 16th, I think? September 17th?
Yeah, that's when they start filming.
Right. That's when you have to be here if you make it.
If I make it. I'm wondering, I'm pretty sure I would have to be there before that day. That's what I'm wondering. Like, if they say I made it Tuesday, when do I have to be there? Because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be on the 17th. I think
you probably have to be in a few days ahead of time or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to want to bring you on day of filming. So
no. You got to get used to the heat. Got to acclimate.
Yep. My wife said not if, it's when you make it. Right, babe?
There you go. There it is. That's the support that we need. And again, folks, go to the Pickleball Kingdom page, Instagram, Facebook. That's where you can vote in comments. You can say, I'm voting for Shawn Paul Pickleballer. Let's see if we can get him there. Shawn, really enjoyed it. Thanks again for joining me on a Saturday.
Hey, man, I appreciate talking. Thanks. And, I got to get ready to go to work.
You take care. You have a great day. Pickle on.
All right, brother. See you on the courts.
Oh, I can't wait. And you might see me real soon. Thanks again, Shawn Paul Pickleballer. You just might be the first Pickleball Paddle Battle champion. What a blast on a Saturday. I hope everyone enjoyed that. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep those paddles up. I'll see all y'all right here next time for more